Hey, this is Dr. Green with Momenta Chiropractic, and today we're going to talk about why sitting for extended periods of time can eventually lead to back pain and can be an aggravating factor for some people. So the biggest concept to understand here is a concept called viscoelastic creep. You don't need to memorize the term, but pretty much what viscoelastic creep refers to is the ability for tissue to be able to be stretched and then return to its original shape. One of the best ways to be able to demonstrate this is using a resistance band, right? Because of the resistance band, its elastic properties, it's able to stretch and then return back to its shape, similar to like a rubber band. What happens with viscoelastic creep is if we hold this band stretched for an extended period of time, it eventually loses its elastic ability to return back to its shape and stays a little bit stretched. Just like a rubber band that's been used a bunch of times, right? Eventually it elongates a bit, loses its ability to go back to its shape, and in some cases, right, it gets to the point where it snaps because it loses its rigidity, right? Doesn't quite happen the same in our body, but a similar thing happens with sitting with a rounded back for extended periods of time. In this position, we put a lot of stretch and pressure on some of the soft tissues in the lower back. Now, when we do this for hours a day, multiple days a week, for months to years, what happens is we lose the ability of some of those tissues to be elastic and come back into their neutral, shorter position, right? They stay a little bit lengthened and stretched, or that creep phenomenon where they lose that ability to kind of return to that shape. Now, what this does is it can create a little bit more laxity within some of the structures in the lumbar spine or the lower back, which can eventually lead to disc herniations if we're not careful. And so that's one of the biggest things that we see is a combination of lots and lots of prolonged sitting with repetitive kind of bending and extending of the back, whether lifting or just kind of through repetitive motions, and that ends up leading to things like disc herniation. So I hope that helps to kind of make a little bit of sense as to how sitting for extended periods of time can help to contribute to an injury and why it's really important to be able to vary posture throughout the day to make sure that you're not going to, put yourself in a place where you might end up with some back pain from sitting. So I hope that helps, and if you have any questions, let us know.